Hi there and welcome to Bustthenet. Yes, another episode here. It's the Getting Started with series. It's Roma. We are going to the Serie A. This is a series of shows that I do where I pick clubs that are requested by my patrons or people who generally follow my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to have an episode featured in an upcoming show, please check out the thread, the video Getting Started with series, and just tag on to that show the videos that the clubs that you want me to start with. I've got quite a number of clubs in the pipeline, including Flamengo, which I haven't done yet, Nottingham Forest, Rotherham, Manchester United, quite a number of clubs. This list is quite long, including Liverpool, and I haven't really started with Liverpool yet. Consider all things considered, that's quite a surprise because it's one of my favorite clubs, and yeah, start with the best. I start with the favorites a bit later. Okay, so here we've got Roma. Roma is a classic club. Plenty of things going forward for this club. They've got a great history. It's a fantastic club to start with if you're looking to build a tactic around a target man, I assume, because Zico and Nzonzi in real life, they really play like target men, and you've got these guys running off them with pace. So I haven't really seen this club yet, so I don't know whether or not it's going to be close. I already have in my head what tactic I want to use with Roma. A tactic that's generally target man based. So that's what my focus is going to be with Roma. So I'm going in with a specific desire to play it in already a set way, which is very different from how I do other getting started with series, where I go into a club and I analyze the club and I come up with a plan to play a tactic that's suited to that club. But here, no, I want to be playing it like that match against Chievo. If anybody remembers how Zico set up the goal, the first goal for Roma. Unfortunately for Roma, they drew that game 2-2, and it was symptomatic of the problems that come with Roma's high press. They've got a reasonably high press. They push forward and they've got a narrow defensive width. That high defensive line cost them towards the end when Chievo scored that equalizer. But I'm not trying to replicate their tactics. So we're just going to look at Roma, see what's possible, and whether or not we can get how far we can go. So this is not going to be like the Torino getting started with series. Okay, so here I've been hired by Roma. They've set me a target. Again, Roma, all these top clubs, they give you contracts that last you 1 year. Sign young players to the first team, develop players using the club youth system. Fantastic. This means that you're gonna have your hands full with doing this, managing the under 20s. I won't say managing them, but you're gonna have to think about training for these boys, right? So the challenge in FM is do you train everybody or do you come up with a training plan specifically suited for some kind of players? I like the latter. Uh, my training programs are very flashy in the sense that I want players that can create goals and score goals. So you won't find my training programs developing the next Peter Schmeichel. Goalkeepers I'll just buy because there are only 5 goalkeepers in the squad. So why would I? I mean, this is the sad thing about football. Goalkeepers are a forgotten lot. I can't think of a club historically that has gone out and developed goalkeepers. Can you? Like, it's in this club's focus in life is to create the next world's best goalkeeper. So I am very curious. If you guys know of a club like that, then let me know because that will be a very good getting started with series. That's going to be fantastic. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is at the start of the game, we'll go through the requirements again. So we'll just go this induction schedule. Welcome to Roma. I'll skip the meetings as usual. I mean, you should go through the meetings, immerse yourself and all that. But me, I'm not going to do that. I want to go get straight in and chew some stuff up. Okay, good. They've got Justin Clivert. So they've got these wide players that are going to come attacking teams. So they've got a few future transfers. They've got this Brian Cristiante, loan from Atalanta, midfielder center. Wow, that's some nice attributes. Gets into opposition area, gets forward whenever possible. This is a this is okay. I already I'm already seeing a 4-1 or a 4-1-2-2-1 with this player alone. He can play in that like a Mazzala kind of role that comes from very deep to score lots of goals. This is a very dangerous player. So I'm already thinking of a tactic around getting him to score lots of goals. So I'm very excited. Okay, attack. So they've got plenty of cover for the wide areas. Antonio Miranti, the goalkeeper, 15 handling. Okay, not too bad. Oh, this keeper is not too bad. So 35 years old, probably cover. Javier Pastore, what a legend. This guy is a man from a blast from the past of all. I don't know how many of you used to pick him for your old FM. I used to, long time ago, when he was about 20 years old. That's 9 years ago. So it's a long time ago, man. Yeah, revealing my age now. Ante Koric. Oh, nice. So this team has got quite a number of young. Okay, this is what I mean. Anzonzi play short, simple passes, comes deep to get the ball, dwells on ball, does not dive into tackles. He's another target man. The only thing I don't like about this kind of a target man is he's already got comes deep to get the ball. How much more deeper do you want the target man to go? I don't want him in my own half. So it's a very bad player trait to have. I mean, comes deep to get the ball in a striker's position. We'll see him come very deep. So we'll see how it goes, right? We can use this to our advantage. Justin Kluivert, we all know. David Stanton, David Stanton, nice fullback. Okay, attacking fullback. Don't expect him to defend. So if you use him, he's a wing back. Will get up and down the pitch very often. When he goes loco motive on you, you gotta have a backline that's gonna go. Oh my God, we got nobody covering. Okay, Nicolo Sanilo. Let's look at his attribute. Well, why did I say that about David Santon? Right. So okay, his positioning is 12, his tackling is 13, his anticipation. Oh, I see the mentals are all green. For me, I have a minimum baseline for a top tier side, which is about 14. Now, if he's 12, it means that he's on par with championship level players or Serie B players, right? For all his mentals, he's mentally as good as a player one league below. Right. So his decisions are only 11. His concentration is only 10. So I have to rule him out when there's a quick transition. If I expect him to come back, if I expect him to tackle, then I'm making a mistake because I don't know him. I mean, I chose the wrong player for the job. So if I use him, it's only to go forward because he can cross the ball. Okay, he's got decent technique. He's got very good work rate to get up the pitch. He has good off the ball, so he'll make himself available for the ball. His anticipation might be great, but he might be able to come back because he reads the danger. But whether or not he does that well is going to be a function of his concentration. So if you can have all the anticipation in the world, but if you're daydreaming in the middle of a match, it's not going to help you. So Mr. Daydreamer is good going forward, but he's not going to be somebody we can depend on defensively. When I go through some of these other players, it looks like this team has got some pretty talented players on the bench, and they made some aggressive signings. Roma mean business in this season, so we're gonna have to use them quite well. Non-EU player transfer is always 2 in Serie A preseason preparation. They start 16 July 2018. Doesn't give us much time. We've got 4 weeks of a preseason, so immediately I'm going to go into my preseason calendar. Well, there's one way you can actually, if you're not the sort of person that wants to spend too much time creating your own custom ones, just do this. Preseason heavy late. Preseason we'll just do heavy. Heavy early, right? So okay, we're early in preseason. This is heavy. Preseason heavy early. The most important thing for me is when I do preseason is always going to be endurance. I will always have a fair bit of endurance inside my training for my players. Okay, we got another one here. Recovery overall, there's plenty of matches here. We got endurance here. That's good. There's a lot of endurance. July and then August. We got preseason early heavy, preseason normal. Normal mid. Latina is definitely a friendly. So we got another preseason heavy mid. And then rest is fine. Preseason tactical late Napoli. Okay, good. So this is coming to the end of my preseason. Preseason preseason heavy late. Okay, so we're gonna get ready for our first match, and then right, we've seen some of the players. Now we kind of come up with a strategy to develop these players because we're going to bring them in from the youth team to the senior team, and we want our senior team to develop over time. So first things first, let's look at club and facilities. What do we have? Roma is not bad. Roma has got very good training facilities and excellent youth facilities. Over time, you're going to be improving these, right? So you definitely, the moment your results start getting good, you definitely want to go to the board and ask them to give you more, expand, improve these, and improve your junior coaching. So this is very important because junior coaching is only good, and youth recruitment is only extensive. So you want this to be improved. Okay, how do you know if these can be improved? Very simple. Just go to the board, facilities, improve training, improve youth. The option is there. And then when it comes to networking, you can improve youth recruitment. So your youth recruitment can still be improved. Why is this important? Because you want to get the best players into the club. And then staff, at the moment, there's nothing here. So you don't have to worry about improving the junior coaching budget or improving the that increase the junior coaching budget. Sorry, you can improve the quality of your junior coaches. Okay, so done. That is your infrastructure. Now let's look about training. So with this club, if it was me managing, it'll be very different. You have two options. Firstly, you can go into the it's really simple. All you got to do is come into one of these training programs. Right, preseason is really easy. You've got several already pre-built here. Like I like to use the heavy ones, so that my boys get to do in some endurance. Well, I'll replace physical with endurance. That's my nature, right? So I will always replace them with endurance because endurance works on natural fitness. So I want this to go up. I want this to be improved. So you can do this in preseason. The other option, then once the season gets underway, you go to August. You can start preparing for training. So here you can choose from a variety of training styles. Again, you can come in here. You can use tactical training styles, or you can use something like training style to. This is like going back to the old days when you wanted to do like balance training, right? So you come into balance. This is just like what we used to do before. So if you're thinking it's a bit too much, just come in here and just pick balance. And then maybe during the off rest days, if you want to add something in, just go in, and you can design something that's even more specific. Like I have something that I've designed specifically for my team. I call this technical training. So during this week, we do nothing but technical work, except for overall. Overall is just for every attribute. But this whole thing is for technicals, except for goalkeeping. I should remove this and I should just put goalkeeping distribution. Okay. All right. So what am I working on? Chance creation works on crossing and off the ball. Then attacking works on finishing, heading, passing. These are all technical skills. Then we've got this defending disengage works on marking, tackling. So this is what I call my technical training program. So you can create your own kind of training program. So there's nothing to stop you. You can use the default ones. Go out there and choose a default training schedule, and then from the default training schedule, you can just modify it to your own liking. So I've done technical. So what else can I do? I probably want to have something that's more defense orientated. So here the following week, we're doing something that is focused specifically on the defensive side of the game. Naturally, I am a stickler for doing endurance, so we'll always be doing endurance, one session of endurance per week. You keep doing this, and you keep working on the side of the game that you want. So here we want to prepare for the big game coming up. So I'm gonna have a match preparation, defensive shape, because you're playing the one and only Juventus, right? So we can keep doing this. I'm not a big fan of having too many rest days early in the season, so I normally like to have lots of work. Like to get them to work really hard, so it's really up to you. Then we can keep going, and I will do this until for as long as I want. I mean, sometimes I do the whole year's training schedule, so we can keep doing this for every single style that we want. So now we can do something for the tactical side. Now, tactical side here, you see, this is for the coming up. The match is coming. Attacking shadow play will be working on anticipation, composure, decisions, more likely mentality with position, role, and duty. So we can use this. And what can I do here? Maybe again, me being the mean guy that I am, so I'll just stick in endurance again. Here we can give them attacking wings additional, so they can start working on this leading up to the game that we have. Yeah, I won't be doing match practice. I'll be doing attacking free kicks and attacking corners. So this could be 1 week that I'm training. As you can see, there's no match being played, so there's no matches being played. So I'm not going to give them so many rest days. So we will fill all these up with something to do. So you want to be working on your. I know it's if you think this is too much, then go and give it to your ass man. Then you have to start getting involved with, especially if you got a youth safe. You want to start getting involved with the youth team. You want to give them a training program. So I definitely will be focused on what I want to see from my youth. So here we've got the youth for Torino. The highest potential is we got Luca Pellegrini. He's a wingback. He's definitely been moved into the senior squad. He's already 19 years old. There's no point keeping him there, so we'll move him out. If they're 19 years old and they're still at your club, if they are here in your club, they're not going to improve. Oh, I mean, they will improve, but they need to be playing first team games. Here, the load is still light and medium, so you're gonna have to aggressively work on their training programs. Once you get to the senior squad, go to mentoring, ask the assistant to assign. Our 16-year-old is here already. Significant light, that's fine. Average light. I'm gonna kill this group. Then fairly professional, significant, average light. We'll keep this group. Average light. I'm gonna kill this group as well. So we're gonna keep these two groups because yeah, basically they've got a very strong influence by their mentors inside this group. So we're just gonna keep these two groups and just worry about mentoring them. I'm not gonna mentor everybody, just gonna mentor these groups because they have people who can significantly affect the development of those young boys. Okay, now the second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to units. What kind of a game am I playing? Chances are we're gonna be using a lot of wingback attacks. So we got this boy Juan Jesus, David Santon will put him into the attacking group, and Alessandro Florenzi, you better go into the attacking group. We got Silvio Anocic. Nope. Abdullah Noura, you are not going to be in the defensive group. Out. Okay, you got Luca Pellegrini going to the attacking group. Alright, so then what we do is we add, because the group has just become very small. So defensive unit, we're going to add a few more players here. And we keep doing this, right? So you can choose to add enough to get this group reasonably balanced. Okay, then we got from this group, the attacking group. Now we're gonna add to the attacking group Nicolo, and we're gonna add one more player, Zancella, and these are the boys that need to be in the senior group. Okay, so that goalkeeping, there's something missing there. We got I'm gonna add one more player in there. So we got a nice mix now in my groups. So all done. That's just the first week. So we've done all that. Now we're looking at our staff. We got room for 2 more staff. Coaching doesn't look that bad, right? So we go to coaches, edit coach assignments. We've got a lot of load here. possession side of the game, I could come in, but then the load is not going to be making much of a difference. We got what we need is we need one more coach for attacking tactical, right? So attacking tactical and possession tactical technical. This is pretty easy. You can pretty easy to sort out. So what we'll do is we go into the transfer market, staff search. So you need to get staff as well now. Staff. Pick. We'll pick tactical and technical. Let's see what we can get. Not too bad. Then we'll take motivating discipline and determination. We've got Stefano Melandri attacking 15, not too bad. Paulo Reina 15, not too bad. Mike, okay, you are, but you never, he's never gonna come. So we'll assign this guy as a coach. So we got 2 coaches now that we've signed. You have to qualify for the Champions League and then get new coaches and introduce yourselves to the squad. We'll win the title, definitely. Whatever you guys feel, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, you gotta have to start. If you do something like that, you better win your games. I just don't care. I think it'd be good idea to schedule. Nah, forget it. We are too good a club. I don't need to look at the under 20s to see who needs to play. D to meet the media will decline. Yes, as you can see, nothing. You can decline to meet the media. It will not affect your game whatsoever. You wanna get on with the action, just do it. Okay. All right, done. So now let's look at the tactics. Okay. We're gonna create our own style. I got 2 tactics in my head for this team. I haven't even looked at the team yet, but in my head, the first one is this. All right, now the second tactic is gonna be slightly different. We are going to make okay, so we got 2 tactics, but actually this is supposed to be something like this. All right, okay. All right, so roughly these are the 2 tactics, except that we're going to be using a target man on support. We'll use an inside inverted wing on attack. Here we'll use Mazzala on attack, rather Mazzala on support. Inverted wing will go this way, Mazzala will go that way. Man, we are very ambitious here at this club. We're not going to use a Carrello. We're going to use probably use a central midfielder on support. Over here, we're going to use a winger on support, and then we're going to have a fullback on attack, and this one will be a defensive midfielder on defense. Simple tactic. Okay, for the second one, we're going to have an inside. We're going to have a winger on attack, a winger on support rather. And then we're going to have an inside forward on attack. We're going to have a target man on support. See, in order for the target man to work, he's going to have players coming and saying hi to him. Like, we want to help you out. So if you don't have enough players coming, joining him in this area, it's never going to happen. Okay, so we got a fullback. We got fullback on support. We got fullback. Okay, done. Yeah, this will be fine. So we've got both tactics already sorted. In possession, with for the defensive side of the game, out of possession, they're gonna be traditional, they're gonna defend narrower, pressing intensity, and we'll leave it standard. Tackling, get stuck in, use offside trap. In transition, regroup, counter. This should be fine. In possession, attacking width will be narrow. Passing directness, we shall keep it shorter. Tempos be slightly higher. And we will play on a positive mentality. So that will be our first tactic. Our second tactic, which is this one, we have no idea whether this is going to work. In transition, regroup, counter, out of possession. We're gonna have one that's a bit more defensive. Okay. Get stuck in, use offside trap. This should be fine. Play out of defense. Alright, this is done. Inverted wing on attack will go this way. Mazzala might come this side. CM will go this way. CM, no, CM, you can't be a CM. You're gonna have to be a CM on attack because we only have a target man up there. So somebody has to come. Advanced playmaker on attack, yeah, and then winger. So we have to have enough attack duties coming out to support the playmaker. So that's roughly the tactics we're gonna create for ourselves. And the next step is actually to go into our team. Actually, I'm doing it the other way around. And honestly, we should understand our club first. But I'm so confident in Roma. Well, preseason friendlies have been pretty good. We use the tactics, basically two tactics here. What I like about this team is you can easily switch between a 4-1-4-1 and a 4-1-2-2-1. But in the game, they like to call both of these the 4-1-4-1. So, and the players, no real difference. You can use the same players. Here we can use Justin Kluivert, or we can use Sharawi as inside inverted wingers, and then we can use this player as a winger on the right flank. Now, he likes to beat the offside trap and he cuts inside from the right wing, and then you've got Kluivert, he can cut inside from both wings. So this is going to be a nice tactic because these players have a lot of acceleration and off the ball movement. So the further back they start, the more dangerous they become. If you play them really high up the pitch, chances are you might end up with matches where the defense is already stacked and it's going to be hard to break them down, and it's going to be hard to get inside those teams. So I pretty much like how Roma are going to be playing, and preseason friendlies have been very positive. In terms of the set pieces, well, I do recommend going out there and creating your own, but generally having somebody attacking near post, far post, one player attacking from deep is always going to be a good option for your set pieces. For your defending, a combination of zonal and man marking is the way to go. Like, you could use something like this. I have other routines as well, like something like this. Not very much of a difference between the two. Left and right, you should focus on setting these routines up. And then for your free kicks as well, you've got the direct free kicks. You've got the ones that you want to focus on are the indirect deep ones. These are the ones that you want to set up, and you want to think about who's going to be, whether or not you want to send your defenders to attack the box, which is something I usually like to do. And I usually get my defenders to attack both the posts, and in one routine I'll normally have one attacking the far deliveries into the far post or the near post, or you can just set it to mixed. Now, as far as the set piece takers, because I didn't really focus on this during preseason, you've got Roma have a lot of players who can take set pieces, so it's really up to you. I generally don't like to use wing backs to do set pieces, but you can. There's if you have your wing backs set up to do your set piece deliveries, then you want to make sure that when you set up your set pieces for free kicks especially, you account for that, because if our wing back is taking the set piece delivery, then there will only be 3 players back. So you want to make sure that you have the right number of players back. Of course, our set piece deliveries are going to be predicated on the need of winning the second ball in case it's cleared. So tactically, there's not too much to worry about. I haven't included any PIs, especially for this role, which is not something I like to do. I wanted to play like a Carrirello. Naturally, you can, of course, choose a Carrirello and then you'll play like a Carrirello. So we can leave that in. So this is the setup I have. If you notice, there isn't a playmaker here, so I'm expecting Cristante to behave like a playmaker. If I want it to be a bit more attacking, I can turn this into a playmaker as well on attack duty, and I get both of them attacking this area. So that the whole idea here is the target man needs players near him to support him. So when you're playing a target man, it's only successful if you can get players up. So we've got inside forward here, we've got Mazzala on attack here, we've got winger here who likes to cut inside from both wings, so there'll be plenty of options for the target man. In this setup, the target man is on his own, so he's gonna have to hold the ball up a bit longer, but it can still work, especially if you're camping. But otherwise, if you want to use other players, there's another player in this team. His name is Sheikh. Yes, I wouldn't use him as a target man. I'll most likely use him as a poacher because he tends to he's hasn't convinced me in preseason that he's going to be a very good target man. But you can use him as a target man, but I'm not convinced. I would rather use him as a poacher. Now, if I were to use him in this 4-1-4-1, then there'll be a bit of a problem because Sheikh needs time to get used to this role. So I would more likely than not revert to him being a poacher in most cases, or a deep line forward and support. So that could work. In that case, he's not really a target man. But this is how I set my tactic up for Roma. The 4-1-4-1 can play defensively very solid. So when the opposition are attacking us in our own third, Kluivert is playing as an inverted winger, but on the counter attack, this is where the system goes into a counter attack, and the guys, Zico is always going to be a great target man inside the box. The one thing I like about Roma is the depth that they have in their squad. They've got quite a lot of players that can come on, so you don't really need to change. Roma have a lot of depth in their squad. They've got a lot of players who can play in wide positions. You've got wingbacks covering. You got wingbacks cover. Roma have a lot of depth, so you don't really need to go out there and get more players. So you should be able to do a lot with the current squad that Roma have at the depth. One thing I like about Roma is the depth in their squad. You don't have an issue with depth, so you can definitely go out there and use the same players in your team to give you plenty of options. We can easily switch between the 4-1-4-1 and the 4-1-2-3 DM wide without even taking our eye off the game. So it's definitely a team that's got plenty of potential in attack as well as in defense. So as we can see, our very first game of the season was against Napoli. We used the 4-1-4-1 at the start of the game, and we switched to the other 4-1-4-1, and there was really no difference in the way we were playing. The team is extremely rugged because they've got a lot of depth in their squad. Our first goal was very good. Came out some good work from Nzonzi to De Rossi. De Rossi played it back to Nzonzi, and then check out what the winger on the right flank does. Because the thing is, you can get really good movement from wide players in this game if you know their traits and you know their attributes. So we got under scoring the first goal, and the second goal came from a defensive situation. We were being attacked down the left flank. At this point, we're still playing with the 4-4. Notice you've got everybody back defending. So this is possible because we set it up with a much lower line of engagement with the standard defensive line. Now check out what Kluivert is going to do next. So Kluivert is doing his work on the left flank, wins the tackle, which is very surprising, and launches a counter attack. Here we are playing on positive mentality. He goes down the flank, and Zico, the target man, is always going to be a great target man inside the box. He actually fantastic movement off the ball to find space for himself, and we scored our second goal against Napoli. So Napoli completely undone, weren't really in this game. Nearly all of Napoli's shots were from range. So if you were to look at their shots by Napoli, You see the shots off target. One crazy shot from there. Shot saved. 1, 2, 3 was saved. Then they had another one. All these shots were literally from set pieces. Not very good shots. Zielinski comes inside and then takes a pot shot. Fuzato, the keeper, makes a decent save. So your set piece settings are going to be important. Roma, on the other hand, we have some really, of course, we also had some shots from outside the box, because you have to remember, I want my players to run at defenders because we have the players for that. Roma come with a whole group of players that are a dream for me to play. Seriously, if I had this team, I'm be crazy not to use them this way. Because here we got inside forward who will run at players. We got Cliver who's going to run at players. On top of that, away from home, we can switch into this, which is not much of a change from the first tactic, except defensively, they're going to be very rugged, because you're going to have you're going to have these banks of 4 that are very disciplined. And then you've got Under, because you remember, he likes to beat the offside trap. He cuts inside from both wings. He can play from this position. We now know that this guy, on this flank, you need to Enzonzi to be a defensive midfielder, because they're gonna sit very low. They're not gonna give a lot of space to other teams to play. So we're just using them as traffic pylon stops. You see, his tackling is only 4, so we're just using him as a player to reduce the passing options for the opposition. If they win the ball as a bonus. Now, I used Florenzi on the right flank in our first game because I was curious. How good is this team if they can keep the ball? Now, this team is so good at keeping the ball that you can actually afford to play Florenzi as a wingback. Now, normally, most people, they want to use Florenzi as an attacking wingback, so which is what I did when Florenzi was playing here. You have other options in the team who are much more defensively solid, like Santon. Santon is a defensively good player, but here we went with a very aggressive right flank. So in this 4-1-4-1, it's not too bad. And then we've got this other 4-1-4-1, which also can play very aggressively. Here we can use a Cairello. You can even use a playmaker if you wanted. But I rather have somebody who's doing a very simple job of keeping the ball and letting the more attack-minded players do something with it. Zico, no other role for him. Target man support, and he will rule the roost. Because here the target man on support has got plenty of passing options. So he's always going to be a danger. The trick here about a target man is, if you want to play a target man, first you got to get the right target man, because it just doesn't happen with everybody, right? If they have got traits like likes to play the back with their back to goal, they got strength, they can pass. If they've got the whole kit, they're almost as good as a complete forward. Now here he comes deep to get the ball. He plays 1-2, so he can even switch ball to the other flank. This is one crazy target man. If his passing is good enough for him to switch balls to the other flank, this is crazy. But he's gonna make a fantastic person in this team to recycle possession as well as to switch the focus of attack. So Zico, we thought of a shadow of a doubt, is a target man in this team, right? So then he's got Kluivert, he's got Cengiz Under. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Yes. And we've got Cristiante, who's gonna be the Mazzala. In this Mazzala, he gets forward whenever possible, tries killer balls, often dictates tempo, which is the reason why I didn't want to use a playmaker. Because if I'm playing Cristiante, then he's going to be a player that's actually going to score you a lot of goals from this position, right? So he's going to hold up the ball, but at the moment we got all these nice players who are carrying the ball into the box, being a nuisance. So Kluivert is going to run into the ball. He sometimes is going to go down the by, sometimes he's going to cut in from deep, which is fantastic, and they're going to give you a lot of options in the final third. So Roma this season are going to be a side that you have to expect them to lift the title. This team can lift the title. In fact, they can go very, very far. This squad is a very strong squad. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Getting Started With. If you have any questions, please look me up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, I'd like to thank all my patrons for the continued support of this channel and make these kind of shows possible for the rest of the community. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.